This is a 14-foot Davidson Lifeboat that I bought probably around the year 2000. It came from the tug the Sea Commander, and it was lying on a scrap heap at Westminster Marine Services under the Patillo Bridge in New Westminster. So that's where I picked it up. Beautiful boat, rough shape. As you can see, it had been sitting outside for God knows how long. There was a hell of a lot of water in it and snow. The engine was a Yanmar 2-cylinder marine engine called the 2S, Model 2S from 1964. Beautiful piece of machinery. Took apart the fuel system and she fired right up. Idles at 50 RPM. Just beautiful sound. As you can see, the boat, the woodwork was pretty beat up, still functional. This is how it looked just before I put it in the water for the first time. I put it in the water in the Fraser River in Ladner, BC, just to try it out and see how everything was, and it was fantastic. Boat ran really well, strong. The engine never skipped a beat. So after that, I brought it home and stripped most of the woodwork out of it, which was riveted onto the fiberglass shell of the hull with copper rivets and roves and galvanized bolts. So I replaced most of that, made a few modifications. I put on side decks, cockpit combings, an aft deck. Tried to make it a little more comfortable. Put in seats with upholstered cushions. Made an engine box to keep the sound of the engine down a bit. Although, like I said, it was a beautiful sounding engine, so I didn't want to have it too quiet. Very heavily built boat, though. The prop was a big bronze prop with a heavy stainless steel shaft. I made a canvas cover for the boat, which would flip down to keep the spray out, because the boat didn't have a very fine bow. It was quite a full bow and would send off a lot of spray in rough weather. So that's the engine when it was all cleaned up and painted. I should have painted it Yanmar gray, but for some reason I painted it green. But yeah, it's a crank start engine, nothing electrical on it whatsoever. You could crank it from the forward or aft end. Massive flywheel on it. That's my daughter with one of her cousins in front of her. And this is my daughter with all of her cousins. This is in Indian Arm, BC. And that's Bumpy Girl, my 14-foot Davidson Lifeboat / Chugger.